Friends, let's go crypto investing. In this quick update, you can see out of crypto news, regulatory fog remains as SEC chief doesn't mention Ethereum as a commodity, does not say Bitcoin is the only one either. Ethereum advocates have reacted after the United States Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Gary Gensler, more than likely a scumbag, refrained from labeling the coin a commodity and instead chose to name Bitcoin among the tokens the SEC chief before him deemed a non-security. He, however, contrary to many reports, did not single out Bitcoin as the only commodity. In an interview, seems like Bitcoin, and that's the only one, Jim, I'm going to say because I'm not going to talk about any of these tokens. My predecessor and others have said they are a commodity. Grenzler stated that Bitcoin and hundreds of other tokens are a part of a highly speculative asset class, which is right. He further added that some crypto financial assets have the key attributes of a security, saying that in the case of many tokens, the investing public is hoping for a return on their stake. He argued that right now you have hundreds, if not thousands, of these crypto tokens that have the basic attributes of raising money from the public and having a group of entrepreneurs that you might have on your show saying, come, we've got a good idea for you. And that's okay in America if the company, if you comply with the laws. And we've got, unfortunately, a lot of projects that are non-compliant. Ethereum enthusiasts are hoping to win uh, converts to their cause when the network finally undergoes the merge that will become a proof of stake protocol. The merge could take place in August, and optimistic community members have hoped that the move away from a more energy intensive mining protocol could help the coin's reputation. Right? Hitman comments halted the SEC ever since and have been central to American fintech firm Ripple XRP defense in a long-running legal war with the communication. Right? Under American law that dates back to 1913, all assets classed as a security must be regulated with the SEC prior to sale. Assets that classify as commodities are instead subject to regulation by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, which police financial products such as derivatives. Right? A user shared a video of Gensler speaking about Ethereum reportedly prior to his appointee as SEC chair. In the video, Gensler made references to the so-called Howey test used in a landmark 1940 Supreme Court case to determine if a transaction qualified as an investment contract. I think Ether, when it was done in 2014, would pass this test. When I say pass, it means it's a security. Another claim that the XRP lawsuit was likely the main reason for Gensler's comment, adding, one of the main arguments in the SEC lawmark is the ruling methods and time frame, and similar with Ethereum back in the period SEC ruled Ripple over. Gensler has to tread light here, not to give a Ripple more ammo that they already have, blah, 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 blah. Right? So you can see some things starting to get worked out in crypto regulation, which now while the crypto community, at first, the first 10 years of the cryptos were saying the main thing was they were not regulated, right? They were outside financial control. and that made them more valuable. But now that regulation is happening slowly but surely, now they're trying to spin it that regulation is good, right? So the way I see the crypto thing is no matter what they say, they just switch with the times and say it's bullish, right? Like they used to say, crypto wasn't correlated with the stock market, so it was bullish. Then it started becoming correlated with the stock market, so they say it's bullish now, right? Then they said it was decentralized, unregulatable, so they said that was bullish. Now that they're regulating it, they're saying that's bullish. Then they used to say it was a store of value, it was digital gold, so that made it bullish. Then when it was shown to not be digital gold, but more like a risk asset, they said, well, it's not digital gold anymore. It's not going to be a currency, but it's more of a risk asset. So that means it's bullish, right? Then they said that it stores your value and it was getting less volatile. So that meant it was bullish. Well, now over recent times, it's been more volatile than it's ever been. So these same people are saying, well, it's bullish that it's more volatile, right? They just changed their wording for whatever the current uh, market's dictating. And then they just say it's bullish. Anyone that says, when they start out saying it's a currency, and then it's not a currency, then it's digital gold, then it's not digital gold, then it's not with the stock market correlated, but now it is. They just switching. They don't really have a hard belief, right? They're just using whatever narrative that is current to try to sell this fucking thing, right? So that you always got to pay attention to and watch out for charlatans like that that keep changing what they're calling Bitcoin, right? All right, when they keep calling it something different, when it gets proven not to be what they said it was, and they switch it up, they got a charlatan. That's how easy it is to find a charlatan. When they're not consistent, they got no integrity, and they just switch, just like a politician. They tell the public what they want to hear when they need to hear it, so they can get a vote. That's the same way with these charlatans, with the cryptos. But you can see here, we're getting rejected again by this upper resistance, and it's just been too strong for it. As you can see, the dollar has risen quite nicely today. It's starting to come off its highs, right? It's consolidating, but the dollar's had a big day. Conversely, the stock market is getting hammered, giving away some of its recent gains, but it's still in no man's land because it could pump towards the end of the day. So if you're looking at the cryptos, the Bitcoin, again, what we're watching out for, let's get rid of that. It's in my way. What we're watching out for is this major overhead resistance where the 50-day is in red, and this descending yellow line is your major upper resistance that you need to break through to get bullish. And your major underneath initial support is the old all-time high down here at this red horizontal line at 19,893, like it was here and back there, right? And then we had our liquidation fake out, and then we came back up and held it as support. So your bullish line is up here. You need to break with some volume and confirm it. And your bearish line and your support is down here that you need to hold on this red, right? And if we look into some of these other coins, we'll go look at VChain. You can see VChain from the first time we talked, it's pumping up towards the top part of this white support zone. If we go to the hour time frame, you can see it had this nice pop up, consolidation, then dump, but it's held this top part of the white support zone. And if you want to get bullish, right, you got to get on top of this white support zone, maybe get rejected by the 50 in red, but hold this and build a little bit of a base here, and then you get a volume spike and you get on top of the 50 and get up towards the 100-day moving average and start trading and hold it, and then you can build up from there, right? Because to get ultimate bullish, you got to get above this descending 200-day, and you can see in the daily time frame you got descending 200, descending 100, and descending red, and when they're all facing down like that, that's bearish. It likes to knock the price down, right? Just like it started doing right here, down, 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 and then rejected the last time. You need to start leveling these moving averages off like that in the daily time frame, right? Where they start to level off and go parallel to the price, and then the price can start to chop into that. And as it gets rejected, it's got less and less force to reject it, and it can start to hold a base and then eventually pop above it, right? If you're trying to get bullish, that's what you would have to look at, if that makes any sense here in VChain. I do still think this 0.0134 of our targeted move right in the major volume area, but you can see what you're getting supported on, this major volume area, right? So this could be a good spot to build a base, maybe make a run back into this other local supply zone, right where that dirty little candle sneaks its ugly little neck out. But it's got some buy volume, but sell volume too. So this could be a nice little swing trade here. But the market is so bearish at any moment it could just flush. And if you break this major volume profile area where this red little snake-like line is, that would be really bearish, and you would slip all the way down to the bottom part of the support zone, which is a big fall. But that's what we're watching in VChang. If you can try to build a base and start to turn these moving averages from being so deeply down facing and descending to try to level them off a little bit, that'd be your first key, or maybe coming into a bottom, is if you can get the long-term moving average to start leveling off, the short-term moving average to 50 to level off and to start to trend upwards, right? That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the short-term moving averages to start to angle upwards, right, and form a rounding bottom. And you're looking for the long-term moving average. Instead of being so harshly facing down, it starts to level off, right? And then the short-term moving average, the 50, starts to trade up towards it, right? That's how you get bullish. And then you would have the 100-day moving average maybe cross the 200-day, right? So that's what we're looking out for there. You can see it happened just the exact opposite back here. You can see they were all up facing and the price was getting supported, 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 supported. Then you had a big correction in price, and then you noticed the 200-day level off, right? See that? The 50-day in red cross and start to move parallel towards the 200-day, right? And then you had the 50-day over here, or the 100-day over here cross. But you see how they all leveled off and paralleled out? The price started building a base, moving down, and then finally broke down, right? So that's what we're looking for on the flip side over here if you're trying to get bullish. Little class there for you. You can see this coin right here. The last time we talked about XGIX, it's trying to, we've been telling you it's trying to bounce off of here, support. It's starting to build a little elongated base. When you're seeing a down and sideways consolidation, that's often bullish that it's going to continue down, but it's going to eventually kick out to the upside, right? So that's what we're watching out for, and that's why we have this circle down here. This is your critical support zone, and you need to hold this, right, to try to bounce back to upper resistance and then maybe eventually work your way out of here. But you can see in this coin too, let's move the volume because it's been a few more days. You can see it's added a little bit. You can see if you're trying to get bullish, you also have to start to turn these moving averages in the daily time frame and level them off. And just like it did back here, see this? See how the 50-day back here started to trade upwards towards the 200-day. And for a brief moment, the 200-day was still descending, but at a slower rate. And that allowed the price to pump up, but it didn't have enough fortitude as it hit the major volume area, right? And you can see that makes sense from back here on these wicks to the downside. And then it forced the price down. So you got to try to build the price base over here. You got to try to slip these moving averages like that and then get the 50-day to start to angle back up towards the 200-day and then work your way up towards the top part of this channel like you did back here and then try to swing your way out of there, right? But right now, we're still in the development stages of this. We're still being depressed because the overall market is not looking good. And then Elastos is the last one. You can see this one had the wick, and when we were up here, we thought it was going to come back down. Had a little bit of a pump, but it's again, these moving averages are still very bearish, right? So as you work your way up into here, they're going to act as major overhead resistance. And then this white support zone up here that we got going on, this is your major area on the way up that would act as major overhead resistance. Because if you look back here in the price, we had support, 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 a whole bunch of support till it finally fell through. So now whenever we do build a base, if you come up into here, this could be a major sell area, right? Until we get into another bull market. So that's what we're watching out for. That's what I think is going on in the market. Like, subscribe, and share. Use my links down below if you want to trade this market. Use my partner Bitget link. It helps support the channel. Become members of Jabroni Killers. Peace and love. Peace and love.